The very picturesque special stage 2. And as we said right at the beginning, a lot of Mark II escorts around in Jersey. Very popular car to rally. Remember, of course, there's quite a lot of hill climbing here as well as sand racing. It's quite a motorsport centre. Now here is Jimmy McRae in this modern Porsche. Jimmy McRae invited out to Jersey. Still, of course, very active, the 5 times British Rally champion. Now, to a degree, concentrating on historic motorsport, particularly with the David Sutton Lotus Cortina, but enjoying himself in this Porsche. And remember, of course, that driving such a car, he won the Manx National Rally earlier in 1997, so he's definitely a man to be reckoned with. Jeremy Bourdain's there in the immaculate blue escort, going very well in the early stages. Sadly, there was a couple of non-starters from overseas. Bourdain's doing a 2:35 on that first stage, or that second stage, I should say. Steve Hill, just listen to the Mitsubishi. That is not on all its cylinders. Flat as a proverbial pancake. So some work for the Oxfordshire-based team. This car sounds good. Barbara Armstrong. Barbara, of course, will continue with Seat in 1998. But what about Jimmy McRae? He had some damage on the back of his car.
Jimmy, what's the story behind this?
I've just found out that the lanes in on the 3 cylinders on the start line on the first stage. Really strange, but it's equally strange. It's lapsed back on the 4 now, so first stage, hopefully you get a good clash.
That's obviously delayed you. How much time have you lost, do you think?
Probably 10 or 15 seconds, I would think. I don't really know how the others are going yet, so we'll find out when we get to service.
Now, very short stages here, so really not much of a problem as it would have been on some other events.
Oh, we went end of rally on a national round, really, so yeah, there's still another chance.
Yes, meanwhile, it was the Jersey man, the Stuart Fossey and his wife, who were in the lead of the rally in their Pepsi-sponsored car. See how narrow these lanes are. Like quite a lot of the Isle of Man. Quick through that left-hander, no question of doubt about that. And a big rallying challenge, this Jersey rally. The stages may only be short, but got to concentrate very hard indeed, as Jimmy McRae had already found out. Another view of that damage at the back. But Jimmy was right on the pace. And it soon became apparent this was going to be a battle between McRae, Hill if he could get his car on all cylinders, and the Fosseys. Going with Bourdain's again. He was also running very well up. It's lovely to see these Mark II escorts so well prepared, emotive cars. But now we're talking about state-of-the-art here. Steve Hill with the Steve Hill Motorsport built Evo 3 Mitsubishi. Here is Miles Jude and the high-revving Honda. Miles was actually leading front-wheel drive Formula 2 at this early stage in the rally in front of Barbara Armstrong. Obviously the Nissan had already chucked itself off, so quite a big battle between Jude and Armstrong. Jude just taking the odd second out of Barbara. This rally getting good backing from the Jersey Tourist Board. Certainly be a fun place to visit, to catch up with the rally in late autumn. Here's Barbara Armstrong and Peter Addy. And of course these Ibithas are pretty wide and not ideal for the nattery lanes of Jersey. And you can see there the concentration on Barbara's face. She was running well inside the top 10. Now here's a nice car to see. Fleck in his BMW M3. Nice little bit of handbrake there, but not quite keeping up the momentum. And another escort. It's Barrow. Got a 2.1 litre engine in it. Stuart Barrow in the F. Brown and Son back car. And most of these stages run 4 or 5 times in a row. Groups of 2 stages, and they run through one and then through the next one. They do that several times and then move off to the next area. And cars running at 30-second intervals. A little further on the stage, and again you can see how precise you need to be. Slightly more recent escort. This is Coupon. Surfing away on Steve Hill's car, Jim Kitson on the notes, who we normally have seen, and a Lancer, of course, with Steve Smith in the past. On puff of smoke, and some great shots here from our cameraman Andrew van der Waal. But good to see a Jersey driver actually splitting the 2 top men from the UK. Porsche sounding superb. There is Jimmy, just every so often clawing the odd second back from Steve Hill and then losing it again. And of course, with these short stages, none of the stages was more than 5 miles. It's very difficult to really get into a rhythm. Stuart LeBreton, one of the top Jersey runners, well up in the top 5. And quite a nice group of spectators there, getting free entertainment, of course, on the Jersey Rally, backed by Shell Oils. And these cars really are nice and clean. They may be old, but they're immaculately prepared. Now here's something a bit different. The only metro on the island. This is Chris Laboniek. And I would think a metro would be a good weapon for around these little tight lanes. But Chris was just outside the top 10. Matthews trying a bit too hard there. Oh, lots of revs on the VTEC engine, and off he flies. But still ahead of Barbara Armstrong on Saturday morning. Barbara had some problems with the battery, all the stopping and starting. The old rear wheel there, hovering in the air. But Barbara certainly having a very good run indeed, in the Barcelona registered car there. Well, this is a nice place for service. 5 times. And by the end of that, they should know it pretty well. And certainly Steve Hill looks as if he knows that corner, because he really was hanging the tail out. A lot of this through populated area around the houses. And Trinity, one of the longest stages, about a 6-minute stage. Here is Jimmy. Quite a lot of smoke now coming from the back of the Porsche. Not quite sure the history of this particular car. I notice it's running on Q plates. Wonderful noise of twin cam escort. Oh, that's LeBreton really siding the tail out and letting the rubbers accelerate away. Great stuff there. And a nice shot here coming through the houses as he continues on his way. Having a very good run indeed. And a big tail slide from Bourdain. That car's probably got quite a bit more power than the previous one. Jeremy Bourdain. Just a little bit off the cam. Here's Miles Jude, and one of the lights hanging out, one of the winkers. But sadly, a few moments after these shots, he retired, so that handed the